I want to quickly talk to you about SEO trends that will shape search this year. So, if you are in that space, if you are a marketer, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an advertiser, you want to really pay attention to SEO trends. So, here are the top facts. Some people are saying that SEO is dead, but SEO is definitely not dead. SEO may have morphed into a different phenomenon, but the core of SEO is still here, okay? And it's really important to understand that even during COVID, SEO was stronger than ever. And those websites that optimized for SEO at that time benefited from free organic traffic. Okay, so SEO is definitely not dead. So into this conversation, I want to share with you the trends that are really helping SEO morph into a different phenomenon, if you will. So here are the top SEO trends this year. Number one, AI, artificial intelligence, and search results will continue to expand. So, after about a year of optional experimentation, Google unleashed its AI Overviews AIO on US results pages in May 2024. So, the reactions and results, both positive and negative, rolled in rapidly. So, this year, I want you to expect Google to expand its use of AIOs and other generative AI features to more queries, okay? So the appearance of AI overviews is increasing big time. So like a few months ago, they actually showed up in about 7 to 10% of searches. And I expect actually in 2 or 3 months from now, that number will jump to nearly 20%. So you have to really understand that this is a major boost for some industries, for example. So for some informational intent heavy industries like business and technology, over a third of SERPs had an AIO. So Google is also testing uh, sorry, other applications for AI on SERPs. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So what you want to do here is that you want to really pay attention to those trends. And so if you want to snag an AIO citation, you still need excellent, authoritative, and novel content that answers specific questions to actually do it. Okay, so that's important. Another trend I want you to really think about, another SEO trend that will shape search this year, is actually the fact that answer engines may become top non-Google traffic sources. Okay, I mean I've already talked to you about the fact that AIOs are expanding big time, but other big AI players are also growing in the search answer engine space, and they are attracting more search users along the way. So that's actually driving an uptick in non Google search referral traffic that will accelerate this year. So, for instance, OpenAI launched ChatGPT search at the end of 2024, and it's already estimated that the AI behemoth will garner 1 to 5% of the search market this year. And that may be a small slice, but it's from a very large pie, okay? Meanwhile, Perplexity, another behemoth, one of the first true answer engines to use up-to-date online information, has amassed over 15 to 20 million users. So, and that keeps growing, by the way. So while that pales in comparison to Google's roughly 3 billion regular users, it does show a significant quarterly growth trend. Okay, so this is kind of cool. And so the big news here is the swift acceleration of referral traffic coming from these two new answer engines, so ChatGPT search, but also Perplexity. Overall, referral traffic actually is up 44 to 52% from ChatGPT and 71 to 78% from Perplexity. This is kind of cool, okay? Now, with one thing I want you to really understand here is that this is actually a trend that's going to is going to continue big time. So, with a carrot of new traffic sources will come the rise of AEO, answer engine optimization. So, if you are a marketer and you want to capitalize, you will need to know which parts of traditional SEO crossover and which new tactics are required to land a citation in AI generated answers. Especially if you want to really increase your rank, you gotta again going back to what I said, you gotta show authoritativeness, but also a thought leadership in your content. Another SEO trend that will shape search this year is the community search results. And those search results from communities across the globe are basically an ongoing SEO trend. Okay, so this is important. So this year, online communities will be a big focus area. Be a big focus area. So community search results are here to stay. Google will continue to show search results from, let's say, forums and communities like Reddit and Quora. Okay. And if you have a business, you want to engage with communities where your customers actually hang out. This is important because your customers hang out in communities. That's where they are trying to really solve their pain points. So by hanging out in those communities, you will know what's really happening, what kind of pain points your customers have, even before they voice it, before they express it, and you can provide a suitable solution. So we saw forums, especially Reddit, get a huge lift from the August core updates. That's when Google readily began prioritizing forum content in SERPs. That made Reddit the third most visible website in results pages, quadrupling the traffic it got from Google. So that's really huge. Think about that. Getting four times your traffic from Google, that's really fantastic. And Quora and Reddit results seem to be more prevalent for specific question queries, which makes sense since many of the discussions on those forums answer direct questions. Okay, so on top of the push from Google, there is a pull force for forum popularity on SERPs. So Google users are actually appending Reddit to their queries, and their goal is to find more genuine, contextual answers from experts. So as a result, marketers have already begun looking for ways to capitalize on the increase of, say, forum content SERP placements. So that's really fantastic. So this is really good. So this year, for instance, more users will look to forums for answers, especially if they're put off by AI generated replies. In turn, you want to expect more marketers to look for ways to attract customers from places like Reddit and Quora, and that may be through a direct engagement in those forums or by optimizing content and publishing it there. Another top SEO trend that will shape search this year comes from sales optimization. So optimizing for sales becomes more important, more than ever, actually. Okay, so basically, SEO, if you are the SEO or even marketer, basically you have to look at optimizing down funnel content for search. Okay, so instead of hyper focusing on high level informational content, actually there is a new push to distribute mid and bottom of the funnel bofu content through search engines. Okay, so one thing I want to see here is that you want to really expect big opportunities in this coming year. So optimizing for search and sales. So content enables your sales team by leveraging customer research, questions, and objections from sales calls is really important. That way, it not only ranks but also resonates, builds trust, and converts clients. So this is really good. And so there doesn't seem to be a negative to adding a little product or brand promotion to your SEO content. As a matter of fact, Google loves that as long as you are adding value to the searcher. Okay, so you want to weave in an aha moments of products into articles that you hope to drive leads and revenue from. For example, you want to add video, GIFs, and demos so content can sell for you, right? So this is important from a scalability point of view. So one thing that you want to understand here is that if you want to drive the most pipeline revenue from SEO, you want to quickly identify and approve money bottom funnel keywords. Okay, that way you know exactly what works, what doesn't work. That means what? It means that when you actually create content for SEO, it must always be linked to business goals because sadly, there is way too much content in SEO that was created for traffic as a vanity metric in the first place. Okay, so that's something that you want to really pay attention to. If you are, let's say, on edge about a potential drop in organic search traffic, you must be thinking about ways to shorten the journey that buyers take from SERPs to purchase. That way you can really monetize faster. So if this early trials net more customers faster, you can bet that you will basically you will see more sales copy find its way into SEO content. Another trend that I want you to really pay attention to is that first-hand experience becomes a critical SEO trend. So for years, Google has called out the need to bake first-hand experience and expertise into SEO content. But the prevalence of AI-generated content and users' search for authenticity has made those qualities critical for anyone trying to rank content this year and beyond, right? So Google actually claimed that experience, expertise, authority, and trust. That's what they call the EAT. Those four factors were at the center of the company's quality rater guidelines, the rules its human reviewers use to qualify good content. Now, the Google API leak that circulated in 2024 referenced let's say original content score as a ranking factor. That means that Google does indeed consider how novel the information on the web page is before deciding where to place it in the SERPs. Okay, so this is something that you really need to keep in mind. And like I mentioned before, users are also turning to forums for more original content filled with personal experiences and expert input. Okay, and this is a good thing. So if you are a marketer and you attempt to flood SERPs with AI only content, you will not rank in the long term. And it's actually brains that can mine their internal data, expert network, and user surveys for new ideas that will rise in the rankings this year. And what does this elevated experiential content look like? Well, it really depends. Basically, you want to have content that serves a purpose and only one purpose: solving users' pain points. Okay, and this is kind of cool. So nothing in content marketing beats 45 minutes with an SME, except for maybe original benchmark data. So that's an important element. So if you want to stand out this year, you want to work with search marketing with the search marketing experts. Okay, and that's one of those things where you have to really get to a level where you are really adding value. So you also need to understand that another SEO trend that will shape search this year is actually the shift to user-centric SEO, and this crystallizes big time. Okay, so you have a shift from a keyword-focused optimization to user-focused optimization. In other words, you will need to address intent and answer the granular questions users now ask instead of highly optimizing for one specific keyword. Consider this: only 4 to 6% of Google AIOs contained an exact query match in one large scale study. That's not a surprise because one of AI's superpowers is understanding the context of natural language. But since AIOs are a bellwether for search as a whole, it's a point of proof that more than ever, SEO needs to focus on user intent over exact phrase matching. So the Google API link that I was speaking about a little earlier, and what a lot of folks in the industry have learned from the Google antitrust trial, back this up. Okay, specifically, basically, Google system considers not just click count but a variety of click types like bad clicks, good clicks, last longest clicks, and unsquashed clicks. Okay, that means what? It means that Google cares about how its users engage with your content, not just if they click into it. Which actually brings me back to meeting the real intent of a search, not just matching a keyword. Okay, now consider how AI chatbots and answer engines provide information. They're like Google's featured snippets on steroids. You will need to provide more concise answers to granular questions to get cited into Google's AIOs and other answer engines in the first place. So that's something to really think about, especially if you are trying to rank really fast. Okay, And ranking really fast is actually a long process, by the way. It's not really fast. You just need to understand that instead of creating a one giant asset that clicks all the keyword that ticks all the keyword boxes, SEOs should produce several shorter, more focused pieces that interlink. Okay, and this is an important element to really think about. So as we move deeper into this year, we'll actually learn more about which types of content are successful for both SEO on one end and AEO on the other. But the trends suggest that over focusing on keywords is out while user and intent focuses are actually in. So that's something to really think about. Another trend that I want you to pay attention to is the zero click searches. So the threat of zero click searches has loomed large since Google first rolled out featured snippets. So we'll likely see them becoming a bigger portion of searches this year. So if you're a marketer and you currently rely on search traffic for growth, you will need to account for this new reality in your current strategy. Okay. So it's important to understand that the data confirms an upward trend, and it's important to understand that this could be a temporary effect or a permanent one. Now, could this be the effect of AIOs? Probably not, since AIOs were not showing up in a ton of searches last year, but that doesn't mean that they won't have an effect in the future. So it's important to understand that the growth of answer engines and the increasing use of social media sites as search platforms add actually to the zero click trend. So Perplexity, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. work hard to keep users from clicking away from their platforms. And saying SEO is dead finally dies. So for years, we've actually heard the chorus that adaptations like zero-click searches and evolving algorithms will actually be the death of SEO, right? Now the data proves otherwise, and the tune is finally changing. Leading voices point out that search is thriving. It just looks different and is happening in other places. Okay, so this is important. So one thing you need to understand here is that basically the change is actually part of the new constant. In other words, you have trends that you can ignore. Okay, so search offers other benefits like brand awareness and traffic from other sources that will continue to make it a viable marketing strategy this year. And one thing I want you to remember here is that basically you got to really change your tactics also, because as new trends are shipping search this year, you have to adapt your marketing strategy or also your searchability tactics to adapt to the new trends.